What's up, everybody? Happy Tuesday. Hope all you're having a great day so far. Getting into this episode of GH, look at God. Look at God. I mean, for two exes to be sitting at a table, laughing and talking about each other's love life, that is amazing. That's maturity. That's growth. You know what I'm saying? Like that is, and I like that about Anna and Finn. They're, despite what happened with them, they're grown enough to like move past it and laugh and be in each other's presence without any one of them having a attitude or being combative towards the other one. I like that, you know. Um, and Finn was pretty much trying to, since Anna was being all nosy up in his business about him and Elizabeth, she was like, "So what's going on?" He was like, "What's going on with your love life? Like, what's going on with you and Valentine and stuff?" Um, she was sitting there laughing, trying, be all coy about it and all that, try to act like it's not nothing major and whatnot. Valentine ain't, Finn not buying it. He was like, no, y'all been circling each other for years now, and maybe you should look into exploring that. And I agree with Finn. Anna is definitely feeling Valentine. I think she has for a long time, but due to circumstances that never happened, it didn't materialize at the time. But now it's materializing. It's going somewhere. Valentine has made his interest in her very known. Um, so Anna needs to go ahead and put it out there. And shoot her shot. I'm glad that Anna and Finn are in this position. They had a messy breakup, but I'm glad they're in a position now where they could sit and laugh with each other. You know what I mean? And Finn was like, "Oh, so you over me now? You over me and stuff?" I'm like, Finn, stop it. I love that scene. That was such a playful ass scene, and I enjoyed it. I enjoyed every second of it. Because you can still feel the love between Finn and Anna. They care very much for each other, but you know, it just didn't work out. It was a lot that was done. It was a lot that was said. Things just didn't work out, and they're both moving on. And I'm glad that Finn is just taking his time. Whenever Elizabeth is ready for him, he's ready for her. You know what I mean? I like that. It was fun at the beginning though when Violet was like, "Is Anna gonna? You think Anna's gonna be late or something like that? Like she always is." And sure enough, Anna was late. I love those scenes. That is such a fun ass scene. That was such an amazing scene. I love that. Um. So anyway, moving on from that. So Kevin's supposed to be playing the Santa Claus at the hospital for the kids. Now, he done got distracted because Laura back. And, he was happy to see his wife and he wanted a few minutes alone with her to catch up and, kiss her and, do all the things married couples supposed to do. Of course, Lucy had an issue. She's sitting there talking about, well, Santa has a job to do. I agreed so much with Kevin. I said, listen, them kids could wait a few minutes. You know what I mean? I ain't mad at him. He ain't seen his wife in months. Them kids can wait about 5-10 minutes at the very least. And Laura was prepared for that, so she got a backup Santa Claus, aka Martin. Lucy had no idea that Martin was gonna fill in for Kevin. She did not know. So when she saw him sitting there, she thought that was Kevin. And she was like, "Oh, Kevin's doing a better job than he normally does and stuff like that." So she trying to get the kids, Cameron and Esme and Spencer, because they all dressed up as elves, volunteering to go to Kelly's to go get some cookies because they about to run out. And, they were trying to tell her that that's not Kevin sitting there, that's, somebody else, that's Martin. But she just kept cutting them off or whatever. So this little Jezebel walks over there and sits on his lap, talking about, "Oh, Santa, you know what I want for Christmas." I said, listen, you better be damn glad. Just sitting there acting like a Jezebel, like a little harlot. Um, Sitting on this man's lap. I'm like, she better be glad that really wasn't Kevin. Because if that was really Kevin sitting there and she's sitting on his lap, Laura would have came over there and snatched her ass bald. Laura would have got Lucy together real quick. I'm like, she just sitting over there just like a little hussy. Like a little, Windy City witch sitting on this married man lap. I said, no, 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 no. I'm glad Kevin didn't sit down and it was Martin. I'm glad, thank God. She was surprised to see that it was Martin, but you know what? I kind of like the chemistry between her and Martin though. I think it'd be mad weird. It's gonna make for good TV. I feel it's gonna make for comic relief. If her and Martin start dating and stuff, because Martin asked her out to dinner, and she was like, yeah, she agreed to go out to dinner with him. But I'm like, what is Kevin's reaction to this gonna be? His brother-in-law dating his ex-wife? I'm pretty sure Laura would be, okay with it. Of course, she gonna be all for it. But I don't know how, Kevin's gonna respond to it. I don't think it's gonna be great. I think it's gonna be awkward. It's crazy though. Lucy is still carrying a torch for Kevin. She don't even care that man married. She don't care. She's still gonna try to pine after him with her little crazy butt. But that scene was hilarious though. And it was so funny when Martin was talking to one of the kids or whatever about her Christmas list. I seen that list when he held the paper out. That list looked hella long. I was like, listen, who is buying this little girl all these gifts? That list was like from here to there. I'm like, your parents got money like that? That was probably like $800 worth of shit on that list. I would have been like, listen, if that was my child, I would like, listen, pick 3 things off this list and we gonna call it a day. Because money is tight this year. We're not gonna do this. Like, that looked like a hella long list. I was like, God bless your parents. Thank God. God bless them better than me. I'm glad, Kevin and Laura got their little time together and stuff like that, because you could tell he was missing his wife. And of course her little shady ass assistant Eileen or whatever was sitting out there listening in on their conversation like a little snitch. Cause she wanted Victor little puppets. He probably, she in his pocket more than likely. So they just talking about Victor and stuff because Laura is not trustworthy. She's not trusting Victor at all, and I don't blame her. She never did. I mean, he's a Cassadine. And even she made a point to say it. Whenever the Cassadines are acting nice to each other, that's when they're at their most dangerous. That's when they're lethal. And it ain't no telling what Victor is up to. No telling at all. And, Kevin wasn't believing that Cyrus all of a sudden found the good Lord. As funny as it is. But I think Cyrus is actually telling the truth about this. Well, I ain't even gonna say I think. We know he is, because Victor's behind all of this mess. But I want to know what Laura's gonna do. Maybe she got to keep eyes on Victor or whatever. She gotta have to do something, because that man is shady. And I'm glad, because even Ava sees right through Victor. But something, I don't know what it was about that scene with her and Victor, but I had this sneaking feeling, and I was wondering, are they trying to chem test Mara West and Charles? Like, are they trying to chem test them, like, and see how the interactions are? I don't know. I got this little vibe off of them, like that maybe deep down Victor might try to be interested in Ava at some point. I don't know. I got a little vibe about that. But Ava see right through Victor. She see right through his little raggedy behind. Like, she not buying nothing that he's selling. She not. She know he a snake. He's sitting there basically trying to be like, oh, I'm all about family, and how Ava ain't got nothing to worry about when it comes to him. Yeah, she got plenty to worry about. Anytime you're dealing with a Cassadine, you better worry. But he's trying to get her to give Spencer a second chance or whatever. And I love Ava's response to it, because Ava was like, listen, whatever going on with Spencer, that's between Spencer and his daddy. Ain't got nothing to do with me. At the end of the day, she, I don't see how she's gonna forgive him or trust him, seeing as how, he went to great lengths to destroy her and he used her daughter to do it. I don't see her being, friendly towards him or welcoming him with open arms and trusting him. I don't see it. She's cordial because, because of Nicholas, but that's as far as it's gonna go for Ava, I believe. But Victor definitely got some tricks up his little sleeve. Definitely do. So anyway, moving on from that, Nicholas is going all out for Christmas for Ava this year. That man got her 2 ruby and emerald necklaces that look hella expensive. And he was trying to ask Trina's opinion on it, like, which one should I get her? Trina was like, shit, you got money, get her both. I agree. I was like, for real, with all the money he got, he can afford to, give her both of those. Um, I mean, if Nicholas is being so generous and benevolent this year, I mean, you could break me off a little bit of that, Cass and I industry stock. I'm just saying. I'm pretty sure it's worth a lot. Um, so anyway, Trina basically trying to get Nicholas to give Spencer a second chance. Seeing as how he's, giving other people second chances or whatever. He's well basically doing whatever for Ava. She wants him to do whatever for Spencer. I get where Trina's coming from. I get it. She's trying to do whatever she can to repair their relationship, but it's not going to be so simple. It's not going to be that easy. And even if Nicholas welcomes Spencer back with open arms, I don't think it's going to work because Spencer still hates Ava and Nicholas has no intention of letting Ava go. So that's the biggest problem in their relationship. As long as Ava's in the house and he's married to her and she's around, Spencer wants no dealings. He wants nothing to do with them. You know what I mean? It's not, going to be easy for them to rehab that relationship. And of course, Spencer, with his nasty ass attitude, is not making things any better either. He came over there, and Spencer is happy for the simple fact that not only does he have Victor in town, who seems to be on his side, but Laura's back in town. So of course he made mention that, he mentioned that to Nicholas, that Laura was back in town, and he's happy because he feels like now he got more allies on his side against Nicholas. And I'm like, well, I wouldn't be too happy because we all know Victor is not to be trusted, and Victor's definitely using Spencer. Um, because he did mention to Ava during their conversation that Spencer has potential, and I'm like, potential for what? Like, see, whenever somebody say they got potential, think about it like this. Remember when Miss Wu said that Brad had potential? That's not good. Because she not only said that about Brad, but now Victor's saying that about Spencer. They're up to something. They want their nephews to do something. Either take over the family illicit businesses or something else. But I'm pretty sure it's going to be illegal. Whatever it is not going to be above board. So of course, they go to the tree lighting or whatever ceremony. And, Ava popped up over there with Victor and stuff like that. And Laura popped up and she got to see Victor and they were, chatting and whatnot. But Laura definitely has her eyes on Victor. And Victor dropped a little bomb of his own that he managed to get Spencer a deal with the prosecutor for his charges. So instead of spending some years in Pentonville for his crimes, he's going to spend 30 days at Spring Ridge, that little, sedity country club type prison that Alexis was at. He got to spend 30 days there. He got to do 500 hours of community service. He has to make restitution to his victims. I think some little apology or something like that. And he has to plead guilty. So basically, he got a sweetheart deal, thanks to Victor. And that's what Spencer was hoping for. Spencer, he was shocked, but he was hoping that Victor would have came through for him, to make his little legal troubles go away. And that's pretty much what Victor did. He made them go away somewhat. You know what I mean? Like, you still gonna have to do something, but at least you're not going to Pentonville. So that's the good part about it. And I agree with Laura because Laura knew. She was like, listen, if Victor is trying to help Spencer get out of his legal trouble, she knows it's going to come at a price. Victor's going to want something. He's not doing all of this for Spencer for nothing, all because they're family. He has an agenda, and Laura knows it. He definitely has an agenda. So now, apparently, the show done recasted little Charlotte, Valentine's daughter, and they sourced her too. Now she a little older. I was shocked. I said, okay, that was out of left field. But Valentine was happy that BLQ allowed Charlotte to spend a little time with Bailey and stuff like that. But Valentine is not convinced, especially after what BLQ was saying. Valentine is convinced that there's more that BLQ is not saying, because she mentioned that the ELQ stock wasn't the only reason she lied to Valentine about Bailey being his. And of course, he wants to know what that reason is, because he was like, the only way BLQ would lie to him about being the father is if the biological father was way worse. You know what I'm saying? Somebody that she really didn't want to deal with, that was dangerous. And he was like, since Chase is the father, he knows that that's not the reason. So he was like, what other reason did you have? But of course, Charlotte interrupted and wanted to go home, so they had to cut that short. But Valentine, now that he knows this, that there was another reason, Valentine's not gonna let this go. He gonna be like a dog with a bone. He ain't letting shit go. And now BLQ got to figure out what she gonna tell him now. I would say the truth. You know, why not just tell him the whole truth, nothing but the truth? I'm pretty sure he would go along with the lie. You know, he would relish in protecting the child from Peter. You know what I mean? Of course he would go along with it. Um, of course Yuri, my man Yuri, he sent over a bottle of champagne for Monica, and BLQ was taken aback by that because she was like, Monica's a recovering alcoholic, so she can't have this. So after the day BLQ had, she was like, shit, I'm gonna drink this on behalf of Monica. So her and Drew was, about to pop open the bottle and stuff like that. And Drew noticed, he was like, this ain't even alcoholic. He said, this is non-alcoholic. I was like, okay, so Mr. Yuri know Monica very well. If I remember correctly, I think Yuri was flirting with Monica. Yes, he was. Yuri was kind of flirting with Monica when she went to the hospital one day. He was even watching her walk out the door. Like he was, checking her out and stuff. I say, yo, Yuri is trying to get some of Monica. I keep trying to say it. Yuri is not ready for Monica. He not ready for her just because she older. She up there in age. She still got that veteran coochie. That shit will hurt you, young fella. It will hurt you. You ain't ready for that snapback. You better go sit down now. You ain't ready for that. You ain't ready. Monica will have you yelling her name. You better go sit down. You better ask somebody. Monica got that old school stuff. You better go sit down somewhere. He ain't ready for all that. He ain't ready for that. So anyway, moving on from that. Why do I feel like Drew might still be having some feelings for Elizabeth? Because when they was talking and stuff, the way he was looking at her and he was talking about, asking her about her love life and stuff, and if there's, a guy in her life or whatever after Franco, he was holding her onto her hand a little too long for me. I was like, okay, you holding onto that hand a little tight, bro. Like, what you trying to do? Um, I get where Elizabeth is coming from. Like, she's conflicted. It's almost a year to the day that Franco was killed, and she's just trying to take her time with the whole dating thing. She's not looking for love, but love is clearly looking for her. Um, and Cameron came in, and him and Drew seen each other, and they was hugging and stuff and catching up. And I'm glad, Cameron tried to tell Elizabeth that she needs to get out and start having some fun with her life again. Start enjoying herself. And I do agree with that. She do. Don't sit here and stay cooped up and working all the time. And, you got to get back out there and enjoy life. That's what Franco would have wanted her to do. Get out there and enjoy. Um, don't sit there and just be cooped up and stuff. Hopefully they're not trying to go into no love triangle with her, Finn, and Drew. I hope not. But Elizabeth definitely should take her time. Like, if she's ready to get out there and date, then I say go ahead and, call up Finn and hook it up. Get on out there. I also like the scene between Anna, Valentine, and Charlotte. When they was all sitting down and stuff at the Metro Court. I could definitely see Anna with Valentine. Definitely. And I could see Finn with Elizabeth. I could see the two of them together and stuff like that. Drew, I don't know. They're going to have to find somebody for him, I guess, and figure out what they want to do with that. So anyway, that was pretty much the whole episode. Hit the comment section. Let me know what you guys thought about it, and I will see you all later. Have a great night. Peace.